There's a worm loose in NPM right now, and most developers have got no idea. For context, I've been a senior software engineer for 11 years now. I've watched ecosystems get hacked. I've watched packages get compromised. I've never seen anything like what's happening to JavaScript right now. 3 waves of a self-replicating worm in 8 months. Hundreds of compromised packages, tens of thousands of GitHub repos breached. Posthog, CrowdStrike, yes, the cybersecurity company, both got hit, and almost nobody outside the security world is paying attention. If you're a web developer, this affects you directly, but not just a web developer. If you are building mobile apps in React Native, or if you're building Electron apps, or if you work in Node.js, this affects you directly because the entire web runs on the thing that just got broken. So what happened? Quick bit of context for anybody who's not in the weeds. NPM is the package manager for JavaScript. When you build a website, a mobile app, a desktop app, whenever you run Node.js on the server, anything in the JavaScript ecosystem, you don't write everything from scratch. You basically stand on the shoulders of giants. Smart people who came before us who solved common problems like, I don't know, working with dates or animations or how to authentication best practices, that kind of thing. So you install packages to solve a certain problem. Those packages are other people's code. And usually you'll have dozens of these packages per project, and sometimes even hundreds. Every time you run npm install, you're pulling code from strangers and it runs on your machine. That's the system. It works because we trust it. Shai-Hulud broke that trust. Named after the worms from Dune, appropriately. Here's the short version. September 15th, 2025, malicious versions of popular packages get published to npm. One of them is Tinycolor, which is used by tons of projects. Multiple packages owned by CrowdStrike are compromised as well. The malicious code runs a post-install script that does 3 things. Number 1, it steals every credential it can find on the machine. NPM tokens, GitHub tokens, AWS keys, SSH keys, anything. Number 2, it sends everything to an attacker-controlled webhook. Number 3, this is the part that turns a hack into a disaster. It uses your stolen npm token to publish malicious versions of any packages you maintain. Now that's the worm part. Every developer it infects becomes a new vector to infect more developers. By the time security researchers had caught it, over 500 packages were already compromised. Then, November, it came back, bigger. They called it Shai-Hulud 2.0, but it was pre-install execution this time, so meaning it ran before you could even cancel the install. 25,000 malicious repos across 350 users. Posthog had to publish a postmortem. Then, May 11th this year, mini Shai-Hulud, 170 npm packages plus PyPy for the first time. The first supply chain attack to span both registries in one operation. That's 3 waves, each of them more sophisticated than the last, and it's still ongoing. Why this is different and why this matters: most developers think that supply chain attacks are someone else's problem. Wrong. Here's why this one matters more than every previous npm incident combined. First, JavaScript runs the web. I don't mean that loosely. Almost every website you visit has got JavaScript on it. Every React app, every Next.js site, every Vue, Angular, Svelte, jQuery, vanilla JavaScript, every Electron app, Slack, Discord, and even VS Code itself, every React Native app that you've got stored on your phone, every serverless function on Vercel or Netlify that runs via Node.js, it's all JavaScript, it's all npm. When npm is compromised, the attack surface isn't some developers, it's the web. And second, this is a worm. It's not a guy who got phished and uploaded a bad package once. It's a self-replicating piece of malware that uses each victim to attack more victims. Every compromised developer with published access becomes a new distribution point. Third, it's not a one-off. That's 3 waves in 8 months, each more sophisticated. The November wave used pre-install instead of post-install. They evolved between waves. Security researchers think part of the payload was even written by AI. This is not an incident, it's a campaign. The VS Code angle. Now, your code editor is now one of the biggest attack vectors in the industry. 3/4 of all developers use VS Code. 75.9% according to Stack Overflow's 2025 survey. Microsoft says 50 million developers use Visual Studio and VS Code every month, plus anyone on Cursor or Windsurf or on any other fork of VS Code, because they all use the same extension marketplace, and the marketplace is getting attacked. In 2024, there were 27 detections of malware in the VS Code marketplace. In the first 10 months of 2025, there were 105. That's almost 4 times the previous year. Last November, someone published an extension called Prettier VS Code. looked identical to the real Prettier, but it had a multi-stage malware chain hidden inside. It got pulled in 4 hours, but 6 developers had already installed it. There's been a campaign called Glassworm hiding payloads inside invisible Unicode characters in extension code, which is wild. There's been extensions called Bitcoin Black and Codo AI stealing credentials and crypto wallets. There was a malicious version of an extension with millions of installs pushed to the marketplace in May. Most devs install extensions the same way that they open a new browser tab. No checks, no thought, just click. The marketplace was designed for a world where extension publishers weren't high-value targets. That world is now over. My take on this is that the JavaScript ecosystem isn't broken. It's working exactly as it's designed, but that's the problem. NPM scaled because anyone could publish anything and everyone could install anything. That openness is the reason that JavaScript ate the web. It's also the reason we're sitting on a slow-motion disaster. And it's the same with the VS Code marketplace as well. Anyone publishes. Reviews are automated. Updates push silently to everyone who has it installed. We built the entire developer tooling stack on a model that doesn't match the threat, and we've been getting away with it because serious actors weren't attacking it, but now they are. I don't think the ecosystem collapses. It's too embedded. There's no replacement. We're stuck with it. But the next few years potentially are going to be rough. More attacks, bigger surface area, more developers running compromised code without knowing, more companies finding out their source code is in a public repo because one of their devs ran npm install on the wrong day. The people who'll be fine are the ones who treat their dev environment like the high trust service it actually is. But most people won't do that, and that's the spread. So what am I doing in light of all this? These are the only 6 things that really are going to stop you from getting hacked as a developer in 2026. Number 1, lock your package versions, no floating dependencies. If a package is 4.2.1, it stays 4.2.1 until I explicitly upgrade and look at the diff or at least read the changelog. It's more work, but that's the point. Number 2, read what you install. Not every line, that's impossible. But before adding a new dependency, check the maintainer, check the download count, the last commit, the open issues. If it was published 3 weeks ago by someone who's got no other packages, then don't install it, right? I'd rather write the thing myself in that case. Number 3, no long-lived secrets on the dev machine. No tokens sitting in environment variables waiting to be stolen. Short-lived tokens rotated in a password manager. Number 4, separate machines or VMs for client work. If a worm hits my machine, it doesn't hit the client's repo and vice versa as well. Number 5, VS Code extensions. Only ones I've used for years from publishers I recognize: Microsoft, Anthropic, the big language extensions. No random AI helpers, no themes, no productivity boosters. The marketplace is a threat surface. Number 6, 2-factor on everything: npm, GitHub, every cloud provider, AWS, wherever, Vercel. If credentials get stolen, they still need the second factor. None of this is paranoid. This should just be the baseline by now. The bigger point: so if you learned to code in the last 2 years, you have a problem and you probably don't know it. Most new devs learn to code by gluing packages together, by installing whatever ChatGPT told them to install, by copy pasting from Cursor and shipping. They don't read what they're running. They don't know what's in their node modules folder. They have no opinion about which packages to trust. That worked when npm was a sleepy ecosystem, but it doesn't work now. The boring fundamentals matter again. How package managers actually work, what a post-install script is, what a lock file does, how to check a package before you install it. It's unsexy stuff that nobody taught you because it wasn't urgent, but it's urgent now. The engineers who will be in demand in 5 years aren't the ones who can prompt the fastest. They're the ones who can understand the system that they're sitting on. This system, the one that's got worms in it right now. Be safe. I'll see you in the next one.